Hello adventurers. So from time to time I get questions on audio and what I do to try and improve or make my audio the best possible when I'm out and about, either on the motorbike or the car. So I thought I'd put together a short video on what I do and what I use to create the best audio possible. So let's go take a look. So I use various microphones when I'm out and about. I don't use in-camera microphones. The only time I will not use a microphone is if I'm not interested at all in the audio that the camera is taking. The only other time I use the in-camera microphone is for what they call scratch audio, which is to sync up other audio that you may have recorded with a handheld recorder, and you can use software to easily sync those together and get the high quality audio linked to the video. So I use boom mics quite a bit. This is a boom mic here, this is a Rode, and this, you'll see these sitting on top of cameras. Vloggers use them. Very good microphone, very directional, but they're sort of like the go-to microphone. It keeps a really nice package, as you can see here. When you want to talk to the camera or spin it around and get audio from whatever you're shooting. And in this case I've got this one where I can actually spin that around quite easily to point back when I'm talking and the camera's pointing away. So that's quite a good setup. On top of there I've also got a wireless. I'll go into that later. So there's various types of boom mics. As you can see, this one here is quite a bit longer than that one there. This is just more directional. This is the video mic micro. It's a very popular microphone, and that's what the microphone actually looks like without what they call the dead cat. This is what they call a wind muff or a dead cat. The wind noise just with this on its own, you wouldn't be able to use it if there was any sort of breeze. And I'll give you an example of that. So when you're driving around with this, say out the window or in the breeze, it'll be horrific. Well, when you put this back on it, it'll take out 99.9% of the wind. Very effective. That's why there's foam in there. They're quite big, but they're very effective. And the fur breaks up the wind and stops that classic wind noise type sound that you hear. Another way to do it is with wireless microphone setup. So this is a wireless receiver, a Rode, and the wireless transmitter that goes with that is this one. It's quite big. What you do with, let's put that down there, is you have a lavalier microphone that plugs into the top of that, and you put this on your belt. So at the start of a trip or a day on a trip, I'll put this on and I'll put this on my belt, turn it on, and sometimes I'll leave it on all day, and sometimes I'll turn it on and off depending on the day, but that'll give you really good audio. The advantage of having that type of setup is wherever you point your head and the camera, they are totally independent. So you can be pointing the camera behind like this and still get really good audio because it's normally clipped onto your shirt. Sprayer over here actually, if you can see that, out that window, in front of that shed there. It's just parked in the shed. And or you could have it out the window and get really good audio because the microphone's on the shirt. I'm actually using a lavalier right now, so just under the top of this jumper. The other way to do it is with Zoom. This is a Zoom recorder, so you can plug a lavalier microphone into the side of a recorder and put that in your pocket and then hit record and link it up later with the audio. Very cost-effective way of doing it. These also can have a shock mount and go on top of your camera as a microphone. Some advantages in that is it's a very good quality microphone. It's a stereo microphone. It also has the line out, so you can use headphones and listen to the audio before you're recording it, so you can see if it's peaking or anything like that. So very good idea. I have a shock mount just over here. These are very cheap. That's just a couple of rubber sort of lackey bands or O-rings, and it just goes through those, and they work as the shock mount. So any shock from the camera doesn't get transferred through to the microphone, and you just put that on the camera with the standard sort of cold shoe mount. So very effective way of doing it. Rode have just brought out a really neat new system. So this is the new Rode Wireless Go, and as you can see, it is tiny. These are very, very small. There's a transmitter and a receiver. The receiver has a little screen on it, tells you what's going on. You can also put, this has a built-in microphone right here, and you can just clip this straight onto your shirt and use it, or you can also plug in a lavalier microphone. There's a plug right in there, and there you go. You just put that on your belt and you've got a lavalier setup. Very cool. Advantage of this is it is tiny. This clip is exactly the right size to fit onto a cold shoe, and I use this particularly on my gimbal because it's so small, and the gimbal will actually rotate right around it and doesn't hit this one here. So this one here, it'll actually hit it because there's not enough clearance. So very cool setup. Also comes with a little clip-on dead cat, or this is small, so maybe you call it a dead mouse, to stop wind noise. And then you can just clip it onto your shirt and away you go. So very, very cool as a run and gun sort of setup, very quick. And that's the key when you're out and about, is everything's got to be quick. Everything's just got to be there. Being able to turn that microphone around without having to undo it, put it back in, is all time that, you know, if you're with someone else or on a trip with someone else, you don't want to be slowing them down. So that's sort of basically my sort of setup. As you can see here, even on my GoPros, that's just basically a GoPro, and I have various mic setups on it. But as you can see, I'm using external audio because it doesn't matter how good they say it is, the internal audio on any camera is really, really poor. Unfortunately, with the GoPro, this adapter is quite big and expensive, but it is essential if you want good audio. So that's a couple of tips there on just how to increase the quality of your audio. If you do want to put something up on YouTube, it is very important. It's a lot easier to watch a bad clip with good audio than a good clip with bad audio. There's a reason why we have TV and radio, and we don't have TV without any audio, because audio is more important than video. So I hope that couple of tips helps anybody wanting to get slightly better audio on any of their video they take, whether it be home movie or for YouTube or just for archival. A lot of these microphones aren't that expensive. There's lots of cost-effective microphones. I use a lot of Rode equipment because it is probably on the consumer end or the prosumer end. It's not super expensive, but the quality is there. So it's definitely improves the overall quality of what I do. Okay, well, I'll leave it there and catch you on the next one. Hope that helped.